If you thought this was big and the next one's gonna be bigger, be forewarned, it's not. It's gonna be a much more subdued episode. And yeah, I kind of went crazy this month. This month I have to take a chill pill. There's a lot of things I have to get for the house. And yeah, gotta be responsible. I think I have a problem. Hello everybody, once again to the Ssx Arcade. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, another episode of Rebuilding the Game Wall, my recent video game pickup show. And despite what I said in the last episode, I kinda went a little overboard this past month. So anyways, you know what time it is. As usual, it's time to
get ready.
There are some games here that I want to talk about and some I just want to skip past because I've already owned them previously in the past and I just basically got them again because I didn't have them physically anymore for one reason or another. You know, the claim sellers that I'm always going on about. So we have 4 of them for this episode. First up, we got Keisha Boy's Games. As usual, you know, he gets like claim sales every week and almost every week I buy from him. So yes, Keisha Boy Games. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram as I go through them if you're interested in getting, you know, claims. It's easy. It's a good way to get games for good affordable prices, especially games that you've probably owned in the past and you kind of want to reconnect with. So yeah, I highly recommend Keisha Boy Games. Next up we have The Basement Dweller. This was the first time I've gotten any claims off this particular account, and smooth sailing, no problems here. Next up we have Professor Raichu, who I did get claims from in the past. However, I'm not exactly sure if they were ever featured in a previous video, so I'm just gonna, you know, show their Instagram off here. Lots of great deals on this guy as well. Post-production Scorpio Caesar here. I gotta jump in here because I forgot to mention Two Bros Claims, who I also got some games from in this episode. And last but not least, the Gaming Jukebox. And as I said before, we're going to do something a little different with today's episode. I'm going to skim through some of these games, the ones that I've already owned in the past. And yeah, we're going to get to the ones that I've never owned before, or this is like my first time playing them or something. And I want to talk about those two more in depth. So first up, let's start off with some PSP games.
Now connected to iPhone.
I didn't say anything. So we have 2 racing games that I used to own in the past and I traded in at some point or just simply don't have anymore. Until now. Burnout Legends and Ridge Racer on the PSP. Now I remember Ridge Racer, I believe, was a launch title for the PSP, and this was kind of like a late life cycle PSP game. And this one was really good actually. To be able to play like a Burnout takedown on the go, great game. Ridge Racer PSP, one of my favorite Ridge Racers of all time. Alright, so next up we got some PS3 games here. We got another racing game here, Gran Turismo 5. This is the XL edition. However, the code for the XL stuff is expired. And you're going to notice this with a lot of 7th generation games that you get. A lot of them came with codes, a lot of them expired. So unfortunately I can't access all that content. That's fine. Next up, we have Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. I'm on a quest to get every single Ratchet and Clank game. It's a series that I've only played sparingly in the past, but I'd never actually owned. This was actually the first and only one that I owned back in the days. So now that I have it again in my collection, complete, it's minty. Ooh, delicious. Next up, what do we got? We got some Wii games here. So first off, we have Super Mario Galaxy. Now, at first I was like, I don't need Super Mario Galaxy if I have the 3D All-Stars collection. However, I kind of want to build up my Wii collection, and the Wii is a very easy system to collect for. Very rarely are there any games that are like impossibly priced. So I definitely suggest, if you're looking to start collecting for any system in particular, collect from the Wii right now because it's so easy to get games for the Wii. I also wanted to pick up Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is not included in the 3D All-Stars collection. And since Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the better game, I definitely wanted to own it physically once again. This was one of the games where I came close to finishing it. However, I just got to a point where the game was really whooping my ass, and I'm not too proud of that. So I went back to it and I gotta play through it some more because I really want to finish this one. Kingdom Hearts, the original PlayStation 2 release. I got this mainly because it has a nice holographic cover. I went back to it to see where I left off on, and I'm so lost. I'm in like the Alice in Wonderland part, and I could have swore that's not where I left off, but apparently that's where my save file is. Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the original PS2 releases. Now I picked up these because I kind of want to own all the PS2 Grand Theft Auto games, just to have them, even though the Xbox versions were superior. Never actually played through San Andreas, and I played other versions of it, but I never got really far. It's not complete, unfortunately. It's missing the manual and the map, but it is what it is. Next up, we have two Xbox 360 games from Tom Clancy, and that is Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I always liked the Rainbow Six series. Never finished Vegas 2. I finished Vegas, but I wanted to go back to them and re-experience them. And for the price that I got them for, come on, man. Couldn't resist. Alright, next up, another 360 title that I used to own in the past that I didn't own physically anymore. Crackdown. Got it for a great price. I loved this game. A lot of people got it for the Halo 3 beta. Nah, not me. I loved Crackdown as it was. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Probably one of the last Call of Duty games that I really enjoyed multiplayer with.
My little pony, my little pony.
It's a vlog.
I'd rather not talk about that time in my life. Next up, 360 launch title. Had to have this one physically again. Call of Duty 2. Still one of my favorites in the series, and such a banger release for the Xbox 360. This one blew everybody away, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection again. Sonic Colors for the Nintendo Wii, obviously. I wanted to own it again physically on the Wii because I love the holographic cover. And just going off tangent for a minute, but I really want to make a video about holographic and lenticular cover arts for video games. If anybody's interested in watching that, let me know in the comment section below because I'm highly considering it. That's why I'm picking up so many of these ones. So yeah. And Kirby's Epic Yarn. I had to have this one again physically because it's such a great game, and now that I have it again physically, I'm very happy, man. So anyways, let's get into some other games that I picked up from claim sales, eBay. This one was a gift from my mother-in-law, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I played the demo of it and I really enjoyed it. However, this is the one that I want to play through. I just really need to, actually play through it. Next up, we got two Sega Genesis titles, and they are from the same series. We have King of the Monsters and King of the Monsters 2. Two very interesting arcade ports for the Sega Genesis of the SNK classic King of the Monsters 1 and 2. I have plans to cover kaiju related content on this channel for video games in particular, and I would definitely want to do one on the King of the Monsters series. The reason why I wanted to cover this series at some point was because the King of the Monsters series was one of those vivid memories of actually playing an arcade cabinet, and this one was at a Pizza Hut. And I actually tried out King of the Monsters because I was like, wow, this looks like Godzilla. Is this Godzilla related? I don't know. And got my ass kicked by the computer, obviously. And yeah, I definitely want to play through those for the channel and talk about them. We have Ssx Tricky. This is a game that I remember playing on the PS2 when my brother-in-law bought it over. I never actually owned any of the SSX games besides Blur on the Wii, which I got not too long ago. And I definitely want to play through this one because I know Ssx Tricky is considered one of the best. Isn't that gorgeous? And picked up Tomb Raider and the Angel of Darkness. I'm also on the quest to pick up all the Tomb Raider games because I love Lara Croft. And this one has the lenticular cover too! Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. I tried the game. Oh my god. It's clunky as hell. I can see why it got lambasted by reviews back in the days, but next up we have Malice on the original Xbox. Now, I picked this one up because it's kind of like an action platformer adventure game developed by Argonaut Software, and these were the guys that made the Croc series, one of my favorite platformers from the PS1 era. And it's unfortunate because I believe this was their last game as well. It's not the best, let's be honest, but Argonaut Software, I like to support those guys even though it doesn't really go to them anymore. Project Selfie, Arc of Deception. I remember seeing this game in the past on store shelves back when I worked at GameStop. It's like some space opera with Square Enix developing it, and it's not bad so far from what I played. Very nice in terms of graphics, and hey, I love space operas, so I decided to pick it up. I got it for a decent price too. Always wanted to own that at some point. Glad I finally do. Another 360 title, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. This was like the last great Sonic racing game that they made, and unfortunately the most recent one kind of sucked from what I heard, but yeah, this one I definitely wanted to pick up. I know it's backwards compatible on the Xbox Series, so when I get that system I want to feel that FPS boost. But yeah, it's great. I love this one on the Vita, which I do have it digitally for, but we don't talk about digital games on this channel because we all know you don't actually own those, right? Next up, we got two Ratchet and Clank games. Here we have Ratchet and Clank on the PS1. I have the HD trilogy on the PS3 already. I'm not going to play through Ratchet and Clank on the PS2. I want to experience it in the best resolution I could possibly experience it at, but like I said, I kind of want to own all the physical releases of Ratchet and Clank. So there we go, we got Ratchet and Clank 1 and Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Another disclaimer here, like I told you before, I played Tools of Destruction as the first Ratchet and Clank game that I owned. It wasn't the first one I played. Up Your Arsenal was the first one I played. My good friend from high school actually lent it to me, Jensen. I always associate the series with him because he loved Ratchet and Clank. He still does to this day. And this was the one I actually did want to pick up because I remember the cover art being so cool. It's also holographic, which is nice. And there's some embossed here around. We'll talk about that in the holographic cover art video. So yeah. What else do we got? We got a couple of PS2 games here. It's a series developed by Sony Europe, I believe. And these came out, at least the first one, before Grand Theft Auto 3 actually did. And I didn't know this, but I do remember them advertising the games because they were really pushing them. The Getaway and The Getaway Black Monday. I was going to say Black Sunday. I'm just like, wait, well, what about Black Friday? So, yeah, the Getaway series. I've always wanted to check these games out because they always looked interesting to me. I did not know that they take place in London. However, I did try them out, and oh my god. These are some of the clunkiest PS2 third-person, like, cop game, shooter games that I've ever actually played. It's like kind of open world, but there's like no HUD. There's no HUD, there's nothing telling you where to go aside from your car's blinkers, which can be a bit irritating because you can completely pass an intersection and the blinker will still be going, and I don't know. I just have to play it some more, but it was so confusing when I first got it. But anyways, yeah, The Getaway 1 and 2. I didn't pay too much for these, but they both came complete in their case, which was nice, I guess. Yeah, The Getaway. We have a HD remastered collection. This one's for the Echo and Shadow of Colossus series. Heard a lot of great things about these games. I owned Shadow of the Colossus before, but I never played it, and I think I just want to start off with that one. Next up, we have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. And this is a game that I owned on the Vita, actually. I bought it on the Vita when it first came out, and is kind of forgettable, I'm not gonna lie. I do like the stages in the game, however the actual combat is nothing to write home about. However, I did appreciate the fact that Jak and Daxter was in it, Ratchet and Clank was in it, Sackboy was in it, Sly Cooper is in it. Why is Big Daddy in here? Next up, we have 2 World War II games that I've always wanted to own, and it is for the Blazing Angels series. Blazing Angels 1, Squadrons of World War II, and Blazing Angels 2, Secret Missions of World War II. I played the demo for the first one back when it originally came out, and I did enjoy what I played. However, I never actually owned the games. So when I saw them for the price that they were going for in that claim sale, I had to jump on it. It was a no-brainer, and I'm so glad I actually have these 2 in my collection finally, because they're both pretty competent. Despite the screen tearing in the first game, the second game feels like a much better game overall from what I played, but it's nice to actually have these games. So yeah. Stuntman Ignition, kind of impulse buy. I didn't realize that this game was actually developed by the guys who made the Driver series, if memory serves correctly. Yeah, so I picked this one up. I thought it was pretty fun from what I played, but it's very challenging. And a very cool concept of a game. You're actually playing as a stuntman, as the title says, and you're playing through these stunts. You gotta get the stunts, you gotta nail them properly. If you do them perfectly, you get a better score. I'm obviously not gonna be able to do them perfectly, but I'm having some fun with it. And it's a nice game to actually own because it is backwards compatible on the most recent Xbox Series and Xbox One X. So that's always a plus for me and an easy purchase. Next up, we have one more PS2 title. This is one that has evaded me for a long time. When I originally saw this game being made, I was like, this looks cool. No doubt, it absolutely does. It is for Modelista for the PlayStation 2. Now, I would have preferred to own this on the GameCube, but the prices for this game is absolutely insane. I'm lucky I got it for the price I did for the PS2. Shipper took forever to send it to me. It was from eBay, and it was like the day it was supposed to be delivered was the day they actually decided to ship it out. I had to get on their ass about it, and I hate it when sellers do that. So anyways, Modelista finally in my collection. It's a tough racing game to control. Like, the controls don't feel arcadey, they feel a bit sim. But it's hard to explain. Like, I'm always constantly trying to keep my car on a straight path, and it's very tough. It definitely takes a lot of practice. You gotta slow down before the turns and then gas out of them. But anyways, yeah, Modelista. What a beautiful looking game. So we got Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit. I never played. At least I don't remember playing the Need for Speed games back on the original PlayStation, so I'm kind of glad that I did pick this one up. And it definitely has aged pretty well. I'm having a good time with it. The cops are absolute douchebags in this one, but that's the point. It's a Hot Pursuit game. So yeah, Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed. Next up, we have another series of PS1 games that I remember seeing on the PlayStation disc. You know, the demo discs that the original PlayStation 1 had. Everybody knows that disc by now. So yeah, Jet Moto 1 and Jet Moto 2. Got this for a nice deal, and I'm pretty happy that I did. Unfortunately, Jet Moto 1 is the ugly greatest hits version, but I mean, when you get them combined in a deal, I had to jump on it. And these games, man, they're a little rough around the edges, no doubt. It's taken me a while to like get into it and get used to the controls. I probably will never get used to the controls, but it's nice to actually own these pieces of PlayStation 1 history. Down to the last 2 games here, and well, first off, this one was free if you claimed anything else because the disc wasn't working. It did, however, come with the artwork and the manual, and that was for Rayman. I couldn't pass that up. You get the artwork and the manual for Rayman. The disc I would just have to buy separately, which I did, and this is my first time actually experiencing Rayman. It's kind of tough, and I heard a lot of good things about this original Rayman game. The 2D side-scroller, and it looks beautiful, especially on the PlayStation 1 with RGB SCART on the Ratcheting 5. This game is great so far. I'm really liking it. I really would like to play through all the Rayman games in order. You guys like the purple bandana? Why I decided to rock the purple today was because of the last game in today's episode, Spyro the Dragon. I now own all 3 Spyro the Dragon games complete for the PS1, black label and all. I'm really happy to have him once again in this collection, and I have a lot of fond memories of taking on Gnasty Gnorc in this one. Really happy to finally have the OG Spyro the Dragon for the PlayStation 1. And with that, we're gonna end today's video. I think I picked up a bit too much in terms of games for the past month of July. Despite me saying I was gonna take a break from claim sales, that obviously did not work out well. So for next month, expect a smaller lot of games. I'm already looking at the bunch of games that I did get for the month of August, and I gotta stop. So anyways, thanks for watching today's episode of Rebuilding the Game Wall. If any of you picked up any of these games in the past and have any fond memories of them, do let me know in the comment section below, because I'm always interested in hearing your stories. And I'm more than happy to have a discussion with all of you. Alright, so thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching the Ssx Arcade.